This week on Midmo J, we're going to be doing some shooting at the range, and I'm going to be talking about the rutting moon. But before we get started, I want to remind you to go to the Facebook page. I've got 2 grunt calls to give away. If you go to the Facebook page, share the post, and comment what you like about the videos or what you don't like about the videos, I'm going to send 2 of you a brand new grunt call. In my opinion, if you're going to gun hunt for deer, you need to go to the range at least 3 or 4 times before the deer season begins. I usually start our practices somewhere around July. And it's also fun just to get out, enjoy the weather, and throw some lead down range.
This is Jason's Marlin 30AW. It's a variant of the Marlin 336. This is actually the exact same gun that Jason killed his 9-point last year. Tanner killed his 10-point. This is actually Jason's grandpa's gun. It was manufactured the exact same year he was born, 1985.
Whoa. Put it on safe. What are you doing with your hand out there? What are you doing with your hand out there in the end, that forearm? No. Get your hand underneath it. Hold it right. Pull it back to yourself. If you don't hold the gun right, it will eat you alive. It'll put that scope right back into your eye. You're flinching a little bit. It's going to pull your shot when you do that. So, is the recoil that bad?
No.
Okay, I didn't figure it wasn't. But I'm just telling you, you're flinching just a little bit. If you can stay a little more stable, you'll shoot just a little better. So you want to kind of pull it back into your shoulder, stay tight, kind of keep your cheek welded to the stock, and then just squeeze the trigger. You want to pull the trigger straight back to you. Much better. That looks pretty good. If your form is the same, it's kind of like playing golf or anything else. If your form is the exact same every time, you'll be very consistent. If your form varies, your shots are going to vary.
This morning I'm shooting my Remington Model 700 chambered in 270. This is actually the same gun I used to kill my doe with last year. I've killed several deer with this gun. 270, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 calibers for deer hunting. If I'm going to use a bolt gun for deer hunting, typically it will be a 270. If I'm using a lever gun, it's typically going to be a 30-30. This gun has a Redfield Revolution scope mounted on top of it, also with open mounts. I like open mounts for deer hunting. Scope is good for those 40 to beyond shots, but anything closer, below 40 yards, it's good to have the iron sight such that you can just line that up on a close deer. Sometimes it's hard to get on a really close deer with the scope, so in my opinion, this is one of the more perfect setups you can have for deer hunting.
This is the most serious shot of the day. The last shot of the day. Miss!
So we have some fine tuning to do over the next couple of months, but we got plenty of time between now and gun season to get it done. So it's becoming that time of year again. You may be asking, okay, what time of year? Are you talking about fishing? Or are you talking about, food plot stuff? No, it's becoming the time of year that all the big media members are putting out their rut predictions and giving you misinterpretation of data and information based on their own personal experiences that may not actually fit your area on what the best days to hunt are in the rut. The biggest misconception they give you is the rutting moon and how it affects, and that hey, you're supposed to always hunt during the rutting moon. Either whether it's late or early, you need to hunt during the rutting moon. And I do think you should hunt during the rutting moon, but there's some basic guidelines you should follow and not just use that, because if you just use that, you're gonna miss some really good days of hunting. The reason why I'm making this segment right now is because I know a lot of you guys are setting up your vacation right now, trying to plan when am I taking off in October, November to go bow hunting. And a lot of you are playing it around the rut, and you're using these large media types to plan all this. And what I want you to know is that the rutting moon does affect deer behavior, but not necessarily in the ways that the mass media guys like to act like it does. A full moon in general will cause deer to move more during the middle of the day, no matter what time of year it is. So if you have a full moon in October, there's going to be more movement during the middle of the day. If you have a full moon in July, you'll have more movement during the middle of the day. I have trail cam pictures that prove this. And when there's a full moon, they can move all night long, and they're going to sleep during the day. So think about you as a person, okay? When you're sleeping at night, a lot of times you want to get up in the middle of the night and do what? Go get a drink of water, use the bathroom, maybe grab a snack, and then go back to bed. That's exactly what deer are doing during a full moon, while they're moving during the middle of the day. Most of the time when you find them, they're in the woods and they're getting a drink of water, or they're going to get them a quick bite to eat on a small food plot. So where do you catch bucks during the middle of the day? In the bedding areas. Why are they in the bedding areas? Because that's where the does are. Why are the does there? Because they're bedded down. And why are the does up moving? Because they want to feed, they want to get a drink of water, things like that. And when does are up moving during the middle of the day, getting a drink of water or milling around, that's when the bucks are chasing them. That's why you hear about the 11 o'clock, the noon, the 1 o'clock buck. The rutting moon does not cause the rut. The rut happens the same time every year. Now there is a little bit of differences now in probably more the second rut and maybe even some early rut activity due to different, especially in Missouri, where we have a lot of pressure during the rut from gun season. So it's kind of messed with the cycles of different, especially doe fawns, it's messed with the cycles of them. And so you kind of see sometimes, you see some interesting rutting action going on early October, mid-October in Missouri. But for most part, the main rut is the first 2 weeks of November. And the chasing phase is almost always the first week of November. So when people ask me, okay, when should I hunt during the rut? Okay, well what you're really looking for is the chase phase. You're not really looking for full-blown breeding phase because they're in lockdown. So what you're really wanting is the chase phase just as the does are starting to come into estrus. Okay, and really that could start anywhere, and it depends on every doe is their own animal. Everyone's a little different. There is no specific day that they will be chasing the hardest, but there's a general time frame. And the way I usually say is start the last week of October and hunt all the way through the third week of November. If you do that, you will always catch the rut. So that's all for this video. We're going to get back to working on some fall food plots and some other side projects as the summer dwindles. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.